Hari Om. Our horoscope and self-care and love. We often wonder, introspect, and are even asked as to who is the most important person in our lives. And we set out to think carefully, naming a couple of people around us. On another plane, we talk of abusive relationships and we feel upset with those we feel are responsible for that. But seriously, now is the time we need to really think and decide who is the most important person to us. I know. Now that I'm saying it, you're going to be smiling and thinking, me, or the grammatically correct I. And also wondering how our horoscope comes into the picture to tell us if we take care of ourselves or love ourselves. Believe me, it spells it out through a horoscope reading thoroughly and clearly as to what you really think about your own self. Our personality, thinking process, preferences in people and relationship, and most importantly, our attitude is very, very clear in a horoscope. Because as we know, the destiny we are born with is but a continuation of birth after birth. And as our scriptures have confirmed time and again, we are born with a nature based and connected with our karmic experiences of the past, which we are today unaware of. But these natural karmic instincts can really join the dots with our mysterious past, because it's not unusual to wonder where certain instincts are present in us and where have they come from. To give an example, we will all immediately understand is that of a natural talent, maybe a singer or a painter, who's born with it naturally. What is it but a result of karma from a past life? The first house of the Lagna chart may indicate our growth, but to judge our attitudes and thought process is much more complex. Because though the planets connected with the Lagna may indicate heights in success, the attitude and our thought process may be totally compromised to achieve that success. A careful study of a combination of the first house with the fifth, ninth, and the 12th houses is needed to really judge this. Also, where the Lord of the first house is placed is very, very important to judge attitudes. There is a very thin line between self-care, self-obsession, and being selfish and self-centered. Self-care is a benign word with an absolute selfless ring to it because it indicates balance. In being compassionate to our own needs, it is but natural that we will become the same towards others. Another major character defect besides being self-centered, though, in total contrast to this, is being a people pleaser. Here, self-care is totally compromised because our own needs are ignored for those of others. The area of this concentration can be different for different people and can be judged from the horoscope by combining the relationship houses to the mind area. Some of us bend towards friends, others colleagues, some bend towards in-laws, siblings, spouse, and oh my god, the famous Oedipus complex of being obsessed with the mother has ruined many a marriage, especially in India, for both men and women, though more often for men. Because for some reason, a young lady becomes sometimes totally empathetic and obsessed with her own parents once she marries. But for a man to remain overconnected to parents is considered a huge weakness and dependence, hence unacceptable to the spouse and many others. It is important for both to maintain a conscious balance in the process of self-care of both partners for a healthy marriage. Parenting is tough, and here too self-care gets compromised. Mostly a child facing challenges becomes an obsession, where not just our own self care, but even the other child or children feel uncared for and totally compromised and neglected. This balance, I dare say, is the hardest to maintain, and the wisest among us can slip on this challenge. What is self care really, and why is it needed? Maintaining balance, giving time to yourself, doing what you enjoy, like maybe reading a book or just putting up your feet and just relaxing, the indulgences you love to give yourself, like a massage or a pedicure, looking at your emotional needs too, besides those of others. A cheat day with your favorite delicacy are all little ways of self care. Because, in short, it is a pause, a gesture, a consideration to yourself to rejuvenate and to recharge. We often pride in being the sacrificial lambs under the weights of responsibilities, work, studies, and all of life's challenges. Balancing all these out with little gestures of self care will simply stop us from suddenly finding ourselves on that pity pot. We think we are abused? No, we are not. It only happens when we allow it. Drawing boundaries and living within them is a huge step in self care. Learning to say no where needed is a necessary part of self care. The horoscope may predict chaos for us in the area of responsibilities, but a little introspection and application of self-will can go a long way, because through some self-care we can fulfill our karmic responsibilities in such a way that they get totally written off as done and dealt with. A pure attitude and self-care too. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.